Sairam, Manoj sir, welcome
Stay.
everyone to our July 2023 edition of Swar Shravan. And summer has officially begun here in the US while it is monsoon in India. But regardless of the season, our monthly get together is always a time for relishing the works of our great classical musicians. So I'm really looking forward to today's artists and Manoj sir's presentation. So over to you, sir.
Great. Thank you so much, Seshadri and namaskar, everyone, and welcome to session number 33 of Swar Shravan. Today, we are going to talk about a legendary instrumentalist, a sitar maestro. Now, just like I did last time when I played a clipping of the artist before I introduced the artist, I'm going to do the same today. And it's two clippings that I'm going to play back to back, and they are legendary Bollywood clippings, meaning when you listen to those clippings on the sitar, you literally can guess which songs are those clippings associated with, right? And the maestro who has played sitar in those clippings is our artist for today. So let's first listen to those clippings and let's see if you can guess the songs. So here we go, the two clippings back to back.
Play backward button. Play button. Pause.
Wow,
Slash back button.
that was so interesting, wasn't it? I'm sure you almost would have hummed those songs when you listen to those clippings. So, who are we talking about today? The legendary sitarist who teamed up with the legendary Bollywood composer Madan Mohan Sahab in producing those legendary clippings. And I'm talking about Ustad Rais Khan Sahab. Yes, Ustad Rais Khan, who played those legendary clippings in those songs. In fact, these were just two of the songs in which he played, but there are so many other songs of Madan Mohanji in which the sitar that you hear is played by Rais Khan Sahab. So it is about him that we're going to talk about today. His various facets, his very unique nature of his concerts, in which he would just suddenly burst into spells of dialogue with the audience. His little bit of eccentricity, if you may call it. So all that put together, it was a real package, a true legend. But we are going to listen to his pure classical and of course some semi-classical compositions of his along with his interview, of course. So, to begin with, we listen to Rag Darbari played by Khan Sahab, in which he plays two compositions, Vilambit Teen Tal and Drut Teen Tal, both in 16 beats. He plays an alap initially and then he starts the compositions. So let's listen to Rag Darbari, very very popular rag. Sure, all of you know that. Sa re re ga ma re ni sa re da ni pa sa. Okay, so this is Rag Darbari. So let's listen to Khan Sahab playing this grand rag.
Inbox. Heading. My applause sound effect MP3. 0 file 0 to Rob Hansa 01 Rob Dargari MP3. Select / back button. Close. Button.
मैं आपको राग दरबारी सुनाऊंगा.
Nice. Nice country.
Uh-huh. 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 Wow. Uh-huh. Mm. This is the fast composition in Teen Tal.
ये बंदिश खान साहब, अमीर खान साहब बहुत गाया करते हैं, हमारे सभी बुजुर्ग हैं। ताबे रहो, ताबे रहो।
हाँ, क्या बात है। Wow. Wasn't that so amazing, isn't it? So, just to give you a recap,
Speech off.
We have done this in the past when we have done programs on instrumental music. So basically, this concluding portion that you heard, the fast concluding portion, is a very unique feature of Hindustani instrumental music called the jhala, right? So the crescendo is the jhala, in which, so there are 7 strings on the sitar. The last 2 strings are called the jhala strings. So you basically use them to produce the crescendo effect at that speed, right? So that's the jhala, and that's why it's called jhala, because you use those 2 strings. And then the performance ends, and it just leaves you spellbound, isn't it? When you just listen to a maestro playing at that speed and with so much clarity, right? So that was Ustad Rais Khan Sahab playing Rag Darbari. Now, it was interesting for me to learn when I was researching about Rais Khan Sahab that his gharana, or the school of music to which he belongs, is Mewati gharana, which is also the same gharana to which the legendary vocalist Pandit Jasraj ji belonged to. And until now, I was under the impression that it was mainly a vocalist gharana. But as we know now, Rais Khan Sahab belonged to that gharana also, and apparently it had a pretty rich instrumental tradition also. So, and of course, they followed the style of the legendary sitarist Vilayat Khan Sahab, So of course there are lots of technical aspects about sitar, about which we could probably have another whole session, but just to give you a brief evolution. So initially, when the sitar was played, and of course this is all said by Rais Khan Sahab himself, that initially when the sitar was played, it was played kind of mechanically, so to say, meaning more from an instrument angle, in which the tant ang, as they call it, meaning the usage of strings and certain syllables were used more predominantly, and later on, when the gaiki ang came into being, that is when the glide and all those aspects which are very typical of vocal music began to be played on sitar, right? So that is like a brief evolution as to how sitar evolved to its current day exposition. So there was Rag Darbari by Rais Khan Sahab, and now we are going to listen to another very, very popular rag Hansadhvani, which is of course derived from the south, as we all know. And in this, Rais Khan Sahab plays a composition in Drut Ek Tal, 12 beat cycle. So Rag Hansadhvani, of course, as we all know, Sare ga pa ni sare ga re ni pa ga pa re ga pa re ni pa sa. That is Rag Hansadhvani for you. So let's listen to this composition in Drut Ek Tal by Rais Khan Sahab.
Speech on. 0 to file 0 to Rag Hansadhvani MP. Select speech off.
See, this is a very famous tune that you hear very often. Wow, wow, it's so amazing. So in this, you will notice that Khan Sahab plays all those jumpy notes which are called like chhoot ki taan. When you jump from one note in one octave, ka ga re sa ni pa ga pa ni pa ga pa re 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 ga re sa ni pa re re ga re sa ni pa ga pa ni pa ga re sa. So when you just keep jumping from one octave to the other, and when you have those long jumpy notes, you call them chhoot ki taan. So he was so proficient at playing those kind of very, very difficult and complicated taans, as you heard just now. So that was Rag Hansadhwani. And now, as Seshadri ji said at the beginning of the session, there is monsoon going on in India in full flow. So why not we celebrate that by listening to Rag Miya Malhar from Khan Sahab, which is so appropriate and so relevant to be played during rainy season. And you will literally feel the rain pouring when you listen to his notes in Rag Miya Malhar. And of course, as we all know, very, very popular rag again. Mapani dani sa re ni sa ni dani sa ni dani mapani pa ga ma re sa re pa ga ma re re ni mapani dani sa. So that's Rag Miya Malhar. So let's listen to this composition in Teen Tal, 16 beat cycle. Ustad Rais Khan Sahab.
Speech on. 03 Rag Media Malhar M. Select / speech off.
Wasn't that so amazing? I'm sure just as it is pouring, well, maybe not now, but whenever it is pouring, this is the feeling that you get, right? And I'm sure it is pouring notes right now in all of our minds due to this exquisite, absolutely marvelous and fantastic rendition of Rag Mia Malhar by Khan Sahab. And let's now go on to the interview of Khan Sahab. Now, there's a disclaimer that I would like to present before I play the interview for you, that it is a combination of two interviews. In the first one, for some reason, there is a ghazal album being played in the background when Khan Sahab is talking. I don't know what's happening at that time when he was talking. So please do bear with that, and hope we enjoy this short clipping of his interview or interviews. So Khan Sahab talking to us.
Speech on. 04 interview MP3 14.6 MB. To select
Can I
slash
ask
back
you
button.
where you were born and a
Top
little
of
bit of
screen.
your family history?
Speech off.
जी मुझे भी बहुत बहुत खुशी हुई आपसे। मेरे सुनने वालों को सबसे पहले मेरा आदाब, नमस्कार। मेरा वतन भोपाल है। मेरी पैदाइश इंदौर की है, जो भोपाल से 120-118 माइल पे है, एमपी में है। मेरी पैदाइश 1940 की है, 39-40। आंख मेरी खुली बॉम्बे में। स्कूलिंग मेरी पूरी बम्बई में तालीम वहीं पे हुई। संजय वीर स्कूल में, फेलोशिप में, न्यू एरा में। सितार की तालीम मेरे फादर उस्ताद मोहम्मद खान साहब से मैंने ली। आज तक की जो भी तालीम है सिर्फ उनकी है, इसमें किसी और का दखल नहीं है। हमारा घराना मेवात घराना कहलाता है। हिस्ट्री ऑफ सितार ये इस तरह से है कि इसको आज तक तो हम यही समझते आए हैं कि हजरत मीर खुसरो ने इसको ईजाद किया, और इस पे 3 तार लगाए थे। इस वजह से इसका नाम था सहतार। उसको चूंकि वो बहुत बड़े स्कॉलर थे, सूफी, तो वो उसको ज़्यादातर कव्वाली में और अपनी पोइट्री में उसको इस्तेमाल करते थे। लेकिन जैसे जैसे वक्त गुजरता गया, लोगों ने इसमें बहुत अच्छी अच्छी इन्वेंशन की, इसके अंदर और इजादात पैदा की। हम भी सबको बड़ों को देख रहे हैं, कुछ हमसे भी जो हो सकता है वो हम कर रहे हैं।
आपने सितार में बहुत से तजुर्बे किए हैं, जैसे अभी शुरू में आपने जो ज़रा सी धुन सुनाई जिसमें एक तरह से एको।
जी हाँ, ये मेरा इन्वेंशन है और कोशिश की है मैंने इसको कि इसका इफेक्ट किस कदर सही आता है।
इसके अलावा कोई और इन्वेंशंस की हैं आपने सितार?
मेरे वालिद की एक बहुत पुरानी
आपके वालिद
उस्ताद मोहम्मद खान साहब,
जी,
जिनसे मैंने तालीम ली, सिर्फ वही मेरे उस्ताद हैं।
जी।
मिसाल के तौर पे सितार के अंदर से लकड़ी की आवाज़,
जी,
तो देखिए मैं कोशिश करता हूँ यहाँ से।
वाह। अच्छा खान साहब, ये बताइए कि ये तो आप भी जानते हैं कि पश्चिमी जगत में, इस दुनिया में सितार सबसे ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हुआ है
जी,
और बहुत से सितार नवाज आते हैं। आपका भी हमारी खुशकिस्मती, आप भी यहाँ आते रहते हैं,
मोहब्बत है आप लोगों की।
लेकिन ये एक क्लासिकल साज है
जी,
तो इसमें कुछ और धुनें भी निकाली जा सकती हैं, कोई अंग्रेज़ी धुनें, या इसको किसी तरह यहाँ के संगीत में रचाया जा सकता है?
बच सकते हैं इसमें। मिसाल के तौर पे एक मैं बहुत पुराना किस्सा सुना रहा हूँ आपको, बरसों पहले का, कि एक बार मैं फ्रांस गया था। अच्छा, मुझे इसमें कोई शर्म नहीं आती कि किसी की अच्छी बात, किसी की अच्छी चीज़, अच्छी धुन वो मैं अपनाऊँ, ज़रा भी इसमें मुझे कोई वो नहीं होता। लिहाजा पेरिस में मैं जहाँ एक जगह बैठा हुआ था, तो एक मोहतरमा तशरीफ़ लाई, चूँकि वो ब्लाइंड थी और वो एकॉर्डियन बजाती थी हाथ से
जी।
तो उन्होंने एक तर्ज बजाई थी कुछ, मुझे बहुत पसंद आई, तो मैंने उसको भी बजाना शुरू किया। तो मैं घर में बैठा हुआ कभी कभी बजाता रहता हूँ। मतलब मिसाल के तौर पे मैं आपको सुना सकता हूँ, थोड़ा
गुजारिश करेंगे ज़रूर।
हाँ,
वाह वाह बहुत खूब.
That was so amazing, isn't it? And I don't know if you were reminded of some tune, some very famous Bollywood tune. Ta ra 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 da ra 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 intaha ho gayi da re ra re re, right? We call it blues in Western music. They call it the blues. Sa ga ma 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 ga sa pa pa sa ga pa ma 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 ga sa ga ni sa pa ma ga sa ga pa ma ga ma pa ma ga sa ni sa ga ma ga sa. That is blues, you call it, right? So brilliantly played by Khan Sahab, isn't it? It was just so subtle and absolutely sweet to the ears. So that was his interview, and now we come to a couple of his semi-classical compositions, and this one is a Punjabi dhun. So a very interesting composition that you'll hear from him. He actually says before he plays a dhun, which of course I'm not sure if I have that piece of recording in which he says about it, but he actually says that this was apparently sung by a very famous Punjabi singer, and then he played it on the sitar. And here it goes. Set to Tal Keherwa.
Speech on. 0 to Rob Hands. Selected. File info. 05 Punjabi Dun MP. Selected. Speech off.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Aha, wow. So that was the Punjabi dhun. And now, to finish, as always, we bring for you composition in Rag Bhairavi. In fact, this composition that we're going to listen to from Khan Sahab was actually taken in a movie sung by Rafi Sahab, and I think the person who sang with Rafi Sahab was Krishna Rao Chonkar ji, and it's a traditional composition included in the movie. Baat chalat nahi chunari rang dari, baat chalat nahi chunari rang dari, baat chalat. So that's what we are going to listen to from Khan Sahab, set to Teen Tal. So Rag Mishra Bhairavi.
Speech on. 06 Rag Bhairavi MP3. Select slash. Speech on.
बात चलत नहीं चुनरी रंग धारी बात
Wow, wow, wow. Let's all pay our respects, and let's salute this legendary maestro, sitar maestro, and you know, truly such a treat and so inspiring, isn't it? Like, so if you actually were to imagine music without any words, and it can still create that magic. In fact, the reason why instrumental music became really popular in Western world is exactly because of this, that the Westerners did not have to really deal with any words, which helped them to connect instantly with our music. And of course, the melody, the spiritual touch that our music brings, the depth that our music has, is just beyond everything, isn't it? It really is not required for it to be supported by any words or phrases for that matter. So it just was so amazing. And of course, I must also mention to all of you that Rais Khan Sahab was also an amazing singer and a composer himself. In fact, the famous song Mohe Aayi Na Jag Se Laaj, which was popularized by Pankaj Udas ji, was originally composed by Rais Khan Sahab in 1964, when he sang it for the first time in London when he visited the BBC. So, such an amazing, legendary artist, and as I keep saying at the end of every session, that let's listen to him more and more, and listen to more such artists. Many a times when you listen to one artist, you stumble upon many unknown artists who may be equally good, if not better, right? So let's keep listening, because listening plays a very, very important part in the process of not just learning music, but also enjoying music too, appreciating music. So with that, we conclude today's session, episode number 33 of Swar Shravan. We will be meeting with you again next month, the second Sunday of August 13th, for episode number 34 of Swar Shravan. Same time, that is 12 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Eastern, and 9:30 p.m. IST. Till then, stay safe and happy listening. Namaskar.